And then suddenly, from where she was sitting, she did not even say, "Is that Pat?" She just, almost like she shouted from her seat, like, "Pat Attah, our superstar, it is I no go know you." Inside the train. That was... No, I beg your pardon. Sorry, I don't know if that thing you're saying is true, but I didn't come out here to hustle for money. I came out here for a different reason.
Get out there, my friend. Tell me this thing.
Oh, man, I've had a lot of things. Some even say, "Oh, he's a taxi driver in Berlin." Ask them whether they don't enter my taxi before. Oh, they went as far as saying that I'm now a pastor in Germany.
And they even constructed a cathedral for you. They said you opened the church. Brother. They went one better. I have been fascinated increasingly by a trend in the Nigerian entertainment industry over the past couple of years, or over a couple of years. It is that at the top of their game, at the height of the industry, some actors and actresses will decide by themselves to just walk away from it all. And there is nobody who is better situated to solve that mystery for us today than my guest. All the way from Germany, it is one of the finest actors that we know. It's Pat Attah. This is the Deep Dive. Pat, my man.
Oh, thank you, babyface. So good to be with you this evening, bro. Good to see you, man.
My brother, how are you?
I'm good, man. I mean, I would like to be like you when I grow up, man. You know?
I was telling you, I think I told you twice. I said your guns, your biceps. I mean, in fact, the way I said it in my head was in pidgin. That just one part bicep, it reached my entire thigh. Just my two thighs.
No, man. Yeah, well.
Look, what city in Germany are you in? Are you in Munich or Cologne or Dresden or what city are you in?
Wow, you pronounce them so well. Kannst du auch Deutsch sprechen? I'm in Hamburg.
Hamburg, okay, Hamburg, Germany. Look, I remember something from way back in the day. Somehow, when I remember that program, Hamburg comes to my mind. It was that thing they used to do on television called Telematch, I think. Horn, those, thrice, some game.
You don't do Telematch. You don't do Telematch. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, so you've done quite a few of these interviews, right? And those guys tried, but as far as I'm concerned, they didn't really get to the meat of the matter. For example, when I Google you now, all that seems to come up on the first page of Google or wherever is Pat Attah dated Genevieve. Pat Attah dated Genevieve. Well, that is good for both Pat and Genevieve, but there is so much more to this man and what he's doing, what he's done than all of that. So I want to get into the meat of it.
Yeah.
Great. When I watch those interviews that you've granted, what you've said is that you walked away from Nigeria because you didn't feel free. There was a certain freedom that was lacking in the quality of life that you were living. In fact, to almost quote you exactly, you couldn't walk the streets or walk on the streets. You couldn't ride a bike. You couldn't take the bus. You couldn't even go buy gas, fill up your car with gas without people mobbing you and all of that. So you wanted a free life. Now, so when I watch that or when I hear that, I'm saying that, Pat, do you realize that what you've described is the dream that most people, or should I say a lot of people have? As a matter of fact, a lot of people, the premise on which a lot of people run their social media life is in pursuit of the things that you seem to generally be walking away from. Things that you seem to think don't matter. The fame, the celebrity, the adulation, these are things that you've abjured. So are you saying that you got to the top of the mountain and having gotten there, the fame, the celebrity, the adulation, the love, the notoriety, you're saying that there is nothing there? Is this your testimony?
Great. Well, the truth of the matter is this. Yeah, I totally understand it that a lot of people would wish to be in my shoes. I mean, like back in the day, a lot of people would want to be that famous, but the difference is this. When I got into the entertainment industry, I wasn't necessarily looking for fame. I was doing it for the passion I have for the arts. So fame wasn't my goal. When I got into entertainment, fame wasn't my goal. It wasn't like, I just want to do one or two stars and get famous so that people will recognize me. That's just the difference. It's different when people are going into it to get famous or when they're doing it for passion. So I'm into show business for passion, the passion I have for the arts, not for fame. So when it got really too much, I felt like I wasn't living the normal life I would like to live. I was basically living my life for people, because when you're famous, you automatically become a role model to a lot of people. So there are certain things you want to do freely that, you're restricted to a large extent because you don't want people to think, why would a Pat Attah get into a taxi? Why would he want to take a bus? Or why would he be riding the bicycle on the street? You know what I'm saying? So these were the things, and also driving in a car with tinted glass because I don't want people to notice me. Once they notice me, they're coming over. Baba, now we watch your film. Oh. I have to settle. The settlement is not even the problem, but I wasn't living as free as I would love to live. So that's why I actually decided to take a break and just go to a place where I know people do know me even out here, but not as bad as, let me not say bad, not as much as it was back home, Because out here now, I will tell you, I ride my bicycle a lot. I enjoy riding. I hardly drive. I can ride my bicycle, I can take the train, I can take the bus. This is how I want to live. I just want to live free, So that's just the truth of the matter.
Okay, well, two things. Well, first of all, I mean, don't sell Lagos short now. I mean, you could have ridden your bicycle from Lekki through Juelegba and Oshodi, probably pass through Mushin as well on a daily basis.
Where do you go? On which bicycle track? Do they have a track for bicycle?
Okay, don't let. And then it's the thing with all these people that come. Hey Baba, now we they watch your films. Hey Baba, now we they buy your CD. Hey Baba, now we they watch your program. I mean, every time I hear those things, it always fascinates me. Okay, so you have done that. So am I supposed to pay you back now for the time you spent watching the show? I'm supposed to give you the money for the CD that you bought. I don't understand.
Exactly. So there was never a time I drove out of my house without having some money in my glove compartment, because I know that definitely anywhere I stop, there will be one or two people or more that are going to come up to me and, hey, Baba. So, and I love to appreciate them. I like to give out, not just because I like giving out, but you don't know the ones really the bad ones amongst them. So
the next thing I want to know is almost related to the first one, the question you just answered. It is, but this is a bit more specific because we generally spoke about fame, being on top of the mountain as to fame and popularity. But I want to zero down. I want to focus right now on Nollywood.
Okay.
And this is how I mean. It seems that when you get to the top of Nollywood, over the years, I've noticed that quite a few of the biggest stars will just by themselves just walk away from as early as Regina Askia, Barbara Soki, Liz Benson, Stella Damasos. Yeah, who told me Stella Damasos? Omotola seems to have stepped away for a while now. I mean, I really don't know what's going on, but she seems to be, taking some time off. Genevieve is also not as in the front of the lenses as she used to be, in front of the camera lens as she used to be. After a while, it seems that at the very top of Nollywood, the biggest, the brightest, and the best seem to step away sometimes. Now, the curiosity here is that it doesn't happen as much in music or say maybe comedy. If when you see a musician step away, it is not usually by choice. It is that life has forced them to do so. So what is it that the participants and the frame of Nollywood know? What is it that the principal shareholders of Nollywood know, the most celebrated ones know, that perhaps the rest of us do not? Now, I should answer that. You'll probably start by answering this question by saying that I can only speak for myself.
Yes,
so I acknowledge that.
Of course. How did you know?
Yeah.
Are you not a mind reader?
No, because it's the kind of question that is, kind of personal. So I'm just asking that from your general, observation, is it that there's something about acting that is different from the other spheres of entertainment?
Okay, you already helped me. You already gave me a soft landing. So let me start by saying, I can only speak for myself. Personally, I never retired from acting, first and foremost, because like I always tell people, acting has no retirement age, so I'm still very much active as an actor, and me leaving the scene has nothing to do with Nollywood, what Nollywood has to offer or not, what it doesn't have to offer. I just, man, we started the Nollywood industry, as a matter of fact. I mean, the home video industry.
True.
Because I personally took part in the first English home video, which was Glamour Girls. Before then, we were on Fortunes and everything. So I had given a lot to the industry. And at some point, I just felt like I want something different. I want to be in a different environment. That's why I stepped aside. And my moving away has nothing to do with Japa, because I left at the peak of my career. That's when I decided to take a break. So basically, so like I said, I will speak for myself. I'm still very much active. I mean, though out here, I'm more or less behind the scene, behind the camera most of the time. I've shot a couple of stuff here in Belgium and in Spain, and also in Italy. So I didn't really retire from acting, but I just want to be in an environment where I can live free.
Okay, that comes close. So this had nothing to do with the industry, as it were. These were personal decisions. You just wanted to, go and do this.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, you mentioned the age or the time, your time in the industry. I must second that and say that at the time you were on Fortunes, I think that was you and Ramsey Noah on Fortunes together, yeah?
Yes, me and Ramsey, yeah.
At the time you were on Fortunes, let me put it in perspective. At the time you were on Fortunes, I was just about to step into the university, and all the girls whom I liked, as far as they were concerned, there were only two types of men in the world. They either were fair-skinned like Ramsey, or they were dark-skinned like Pat. Them were the two types of men that existed in the world, as far as all the girls I knew were concerned. So, I didn't like you and Ramsey for a long time.
Oh my.
No.
There, bro. I'm innocent. Not Idibia, but I'm innocent.
Okay. So, but look, Pat, why? So I can understand the need to want to go somewhere else and live a certain kind of life away from the pressure of being what we call a celebrity. You want to walk the roads, you want to take your children to the park. I remember when I was speaking to LD the Don, LD told me that people don't understand that he wants to mow his own lawn by himself. He wants to cut the grass. He wants to tinker about the house. He wants to drive the kids to school in the morning. That these are the things that matter to him, and that he needed to come to a place where he could do those things. So yeah. I understand that. But the question is, why Germany? This is a place where it's as if you were just piling on stress for yourself, because you have to learn a whole other new language, another language. And as far as I know, German is not the easiest thing to speak in the world. Why not go to America or Canada or the UK or anywhere where they speak English? German?
Well, why did I choose Germany? First and foremost, I've traveled to different countries, and Germany is a country I came to and felt very much at home here. And another reason, you talked about the English-speaking countries. Mm-hmm. I felt moving to an English-speaking country would also expose me to a lot of people who are from Africa who would know me, because I think most people would want to go to an English-speaking country. So I felt, okay, there'll be less people out here in Germany because of the language barrier than in the UK or in the United States or something. So that's why I chose here. But the most important thing is that I felt very much at home in Germany from the beginning. So that's basically, and the language is not even a problem. It's not difficult to speak.
Really? German is not, sorry, German is not difficult to speak.
For me, no. It's all about interest, it's all about interest. When you're interested in something, then it comes easy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I must confess.
Yeah.
I must confess that I envy you. It might have been painful to learn it. The learning curve might have been steep, but it's the fact that you now speak German. Somewhere inside me, I envy you that ability. You now have another language in addition to the ones you know. You now have, I envy you that. So let me confess.
No. We can have some German lessons after the interview,
For what? Do I not have enough pressures in my life to add German to thank you. No thanks. So okay. First of all, before I leave about Germany, how do you, especially in this, we're living in a time now, our people, you alluded to that, our people call it Japa. There's a lot of emigration away from Nigeria.
Yeah.
So how did you come to move to Germany and make it a seamless move? You didn't have to worry about being legal in Germany, about immigration and all of that. It was as if you literally just decided one day to go and you went. Were you born in Germany? Do you have a German citizenship? What happened there? How are you able to just decide I'm going to go and live in Germany and then you do that?
Well, the truth is, before I decided to settle down in Germany, I traveled multiple times to Germany. I would come here, spend some months, go back, until I finally made up my mind that, okay, it's time to really relocate and come live here. So it wasn't really difficult, because it's not like I went through the back door, to come here, or that I just came here once and decided to stay until my visa expires. So I traveled multiple times. I had, So it made it easy for me when I decided to come settle down here, until I finally got everything right with my citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take that.
It's different. It's different. It's different when you pass through Benin Republic or Libya and the rest of them. It's a totally different ball game altogether,
I can only imagine. Okay, so what I take from that is that, look, it wasn't as if you went once, you visited and you were like, I like this place, so and then you decided to overstay your welcome. This was you going back and forth over the years, and this was well thought out.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the way it is. Yeah.
So this is a perfect segue to my next question, and to be able to ask that question quite what's the word I'm looking for? To ask it quite accurately, that's what I'm looking for. I wrote down what you purportedly said on an interview that you granted. So I'm going to read it to you, just a few lines, what you said. This is what you said. You said,
okay.
Yeah, quoting you now. I left fully prepared. I had everything in place, so it wasn't a struggle for me out here. Germany is like my second home.
Yeah.
My heart and soul are here, just like it is in Niger.
That's true.
Okay. Are these words attributable to you?
Yes.
True. All right, good. So I don't disbelieve that. It is just that my observation and my belief is that there is no transition in life that is seamless. You're not going to go from one place in life to another place without the pain of transition. There's got to be some turbulence somewhere along the line. In fact, I tell people that, or I like to think that even if the richest black man in the world, Aliko Dangote, were to decide to move anywhere else in the world tomorrow apart from Nigeria, even he is going to struggle for a minute. Now the struggle is going to be relative. Aliko Dangote is not going to struggle like the average person or most people. So most people will look at him and say he's enjoying. But to Aliko, he's still going to feel turbulent. It's not going to be seamless. Life is not that seamless. So I'm just asking you, are you saying that the move to Germany was completely seamless? You didn't struggle? There were no days where you were like, man, was this a mistake? I miss Nigeria. I miss Lagos. I miss the vibe.
I crossed my heart.
Is that what you're saying?
That has never crossed my mind ever since I started staying here. Believe me, never. Honestly, I'm not saying that it was so smooth from the start. Normally, it can be. Even if I would be born here, I mean, it's never so smooth anywhere in the world. But there has never been a time that I sat down and felt like, oh man, why did I take this decision to relocate? Never. That has never happened. Never. Crossed my heart. Never. Because I made up my mind. Like I said, I didn't just travel down here once and decided to stay. If that would be the case, then probably I would have encountered a lot of problems along the line, but I traveled multiple times back and forth. I already, to an extent, knew the system of the country before I made up my mind to relocate and come live here. So honestly, I don't regret it, and I've never regretted it for one day.
Okay, I believe you. So if you were to advise somebody who's looking to come to Germany now, even if they've made the multiple trips, they say they've gone 6 times or 7 times and now they're deciding that they're coming, what would you tell them for them to make the jump as seamless as you have? What would you tell them? Look, just do this, do that. Because the Africans have a proverb. If the horse who is running behind, or if the horse that is running behind takes dressing from the horse that runs before it, it's likely to avoid the ditches. And there are ditches everywhere, metaphorically speaking. So what would you tell somebody who's looking to come into Germany? Look, so what would you tell them? If you had to tell them one thing.
Just like I don't know if it was the very first question that you asked. Like I said, let me start with that. When you talked about people who want to be famous, that here I am running away from what most people desire, And I said, it's about the passion. It's the same thing here. I mean, people have different reasons for wanting to travel to another country. Some people have the impression that once they go to once they travel abroad, it doesn't matter where they go, that within a month or two or within a year, they're going to be super rich. you know. So that's why I think, that's why I think a lot of people become so disappointed when they come out and they realize, oh, it's not as easy as they think it is, you know. So I can only advise people, first and foremost, know what you're going for. Why do you want to leave your country of origin? Why do you want to relocate to a different country? Are you going there to hustle legitimately? That's important, because there are opportunities everywhere. So as long as you have the patience, you're ready to work. I don't know, it depends on one's profession. And as long as you're ready to put in the work, it's okay. But just don't expect that once you come out to a foreign land, you're just going to start picking money on the streets. No, it doesn't work that way. So that's just my advice is plan well, know what you're going for, already plan it well. That, okay, when I get here, this is what I intend to start doing. Don't just leave without a plan. That's basically what I can say.
Nice. So temper your expectations. Be realistic. I mean the streets are not paved with gold.
No, no, nowhere. I mean, even in America, I mean, you know, back in the day, you know, people, oh, the American dream and da 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 da. But it's not like that. You're there, you know.
Do I know? Do I know? You know, so I mean, I will share with you on this one. So let me share with you on this one. I mean, I'd been coming to America again, as you might imagine, for quite a few years. I'd been going back and forth. In fact, at that time, I was on my 5th or 6th American visa as a visitor. So I'd been coming for about 12 years, you know, all of that. I have family here. So again, it's that you think you know, but the reality of visiting is different from the reality of living in.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to throw my 2 cents to my own question and to follow up the advice that you gave, it is that, look, the reality of visiting is not quite the reality of living. There are people who will be so kind to you as a visitor, and they will promise you, in fact, they will encourage you. They will tell you, come. When you come, we'll be there for you. The day you show up to live there, it's different.
Of course. But for you, you see, your case is, I would say, is similar to mine. You know, you traveled multiple times before you decided to now relocate.
Yeah.
It's a totally different ball game altogether. So nobody can say that we Japa, we did not Japa. You know, Japa is like Japa is you're escaping from. Yes, no. When I left, I don't know when you left, but when I left, the Naira was still super strong. It was still okay. Things were still moving pretty well out there.
Yeah.
Insecurity wasn't even okay. There was a little bit of it, but it wasn't that bad. You know.
When did you leave?
2005. Yeah, 2005.
Oh, you're definitely, I mean, anybody who looks at you and calls you in that category. And you know, this is what I've noticed. I have noticed that the people who made the conscious decision to move and were doing well in Nigeria for their family, and they made a conscious decision to move for any reason at all, they completely repudiate and reject that terminology and that classification of Japa. I mean, it's across, but they hate the word. They never, they're like, who Japa? they just can't stand it. And you see, most people don't realize, I think it's for the people who actually understand what the word means. Japa means to live permanently, and there's a connotation of violence and fleeing. Exactly. You left under duress, you left permanently, and you're like, who did that?
Like
who did that?
You know, escaping from somewhere, you know?
Talo Japa.
No, we know Japa, my brother. No.
Okay, so I had a famous interview with JJ Okocha about it must be about, strangely enough, I didn't think about it before I asked you this question. I was just going to ask you this question, but thinking about it now, it shocks me to realize that it was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 14. It's strange enough, 14 years ago when the Teju Babyface show started. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 14 years ago, I had an interview with JJ Okocha, and I asked him about his time in Germany, and he spoke about how he did not even understand the concept of racism until he got to Germany, until he got to Europe. And that was when he understood for the first time that he was a black man. And since he said that, somehow I can't help it. When I think Germany, that story echoes in my subconscious. I mean, of course, I can imagine that not all German people are racist. In fact, probably not a critical section of them are racist, but it exists. So what has been your experience? Have you had this experience?
Everybody has a different experience. So far, so good. I have not had any form of racist experience here. So far, I haven't. I think everything depends on how you carry yourself, and also depends on what part of Germany where you live. Like Hamburg is multicultural, just like Munich and the rest of them. Probably in the eastern parts, some eastern parts of Germany. I don't live there, I don't even go there. That's the only part of Germany where I hear that you still have people who are like racist because they're not used to colored people, But here, for instance, in Germany is multicultural. I've never experienced any form of racism. Never. Am I saying that it doesn't exist? No. Like I said, different people with different experience. Okay? But for me personally, I've never experienced it. So most of the time,
okay.
Most of the time when they see me here, then they think I be Yankee. So so I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out, that it probably helps that you're a big hulking black man. You don't want to mess with a big black guy. With the guns, you probably want to keep your racism to yourself when you see Pat walking up to you. So, that probably helps.
Probably, I don't know. It's possible, but well, if that's the case, then I have to keep working out to stay strong. Yeah.
Carry go. Carry go. So, you spoke about how you chose Germany because of you wanted somewhere that was, as different from home. Not in so many words, but you didn't want a place that had an influx of so many Nigerians. Yep. So you use the language as a barrier. I can understand that. I've been in buses in London where I hear Nigerians on the phone, and I know they're Nigerian because of the language. I've been in places in the United States where I'm in the mall, or I'm at the mart. I'm at the grocery store. I'm buying something, and across from me across the other aisle, I can't see the person, but I can hear the conversations. Kini iti won go? Elo ni won tan sin. So.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but the legend is that Nigerians are everywhere. In fact, there's a joke that we do as comedians that that's how to know. We tell white people, that's how to know if anywhere, any location on earth is potentially safe. When you get there, just look out for Nigerians. If there are no Nigerians there, leave. That place is not good.
You're right.
So that's a joke that we used to do. Yeah. So as much as you chose Germany for the fewer number of Nigerians, there must still be Nigerians. So what's the proliferation of Nigerians in Germany? How likely are you to meet a Nigerian when you're strolling or walking or biking or anything?
Okay. That's a good question. The truth of the matter is this. There are lots of them in Germany as well. Not just Nigerians, Ghanaians, and I've also been places where people still hold big. Oh, let me tell you one funny one that happened last time. I went to the beach, And on coming back, I took the train. All right. So on my way back, I was in the train, and then this woman walked into the train with maybe her husband, friend, I don't know. So I saw the way she looked at me from the entrance. I knew. Oh, this one don't recognize me. So I just looked away, took my phone, and was just playing with the phone. And then suddenly, from where she was sitting, she did not even say, "Is that Pat?" She just almost like she shouted from her seat, like, "Pat Attah, our superstar. It is I no go know you." Inside the train. That was embarrassing. I was like, she was sitting and she just, like, "Pat Attah, our superstar. It is I no go know you. I know you now." Then she started talking, and then she was like, all of them are just wrong. Come on, blah, blah, blah. What's happening? And then she said something. She said, I heard, let me not mention the name of the actress. I heard this actress said she had to move to London to go and do some work because she wasn't getting enough money and da, da, da. So I said to her, "No, I beg your pardon. Sorry, I don't know if that thing you're saying is true, but I didn't come out here to hustle for money. I came out here for a different reason." I try as much as possible to be nice, but man, this woman took me by surprise. She just shouted from her seat. Man. So, yeah. And also the 2006 World Cup, Germany hosted it. So the one in Hamburg, when I went to the stadium, my brother, the crowd of African people that were there, let me not say all of them. Most of them recognized me. They were coming to me asking for autographs and pictures, to the extent that the foreigners, that's the Yoruba people around, were thinking maybe I was one football player too. So they were also coming to me to come and take pictures. They don't know saying I just Nollywood actor. They were, because of that. So they know. But the truth is this: out here, apart from those occasions, something that happens once in a while, the place where I live is kind of a private area. You don't really have blacks living around here, and I also don't go to, except on special invitation. I don't go to like Afro shops or the rest of them. So when most people see me, they don't even know that I live here. They will ask, "You come? Are you people having a show here or something?" I say, "Yeah, I just come. I will soon go." So they don't even know that I'm here. So I try as much as possible to still package myself. May the no go see person finish. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I do know what you're saying. Familiarity breeds contempt, and it can breed it faster if you're frequent, or if you hang around certain communities in diaspora. Again, because the misguided opinion is that if you left Nigeria, even as a celebrity or as a popular person, then things must have been difficult. Exactly. And somehow it's a strange thing. It's almost as if this person who used to see you on TV now sees you in person out of the country in diaspora, and so they now want to sort of begin to live out their fantasies as on a part they see like this. So wait, they here with me. Okay, let me. Some people can take it overboard. Not everybody is like that. There are gracious people like you alluded to, but some people.
Exactly. So I try to package myself because, like I said, I didn't retire from acting. I only stepped aside. So I have to keep myself as relevant as possible. So anytime I want to step in, I step in, and then I'm still fresh, and not that I will say, this one way, So that's just the way it is. You just have to package yourself, and don't throw yourself on the floor for people to step all over you.
Nice, thank you. So I was saying that was a great segue to what I wanted to ask you, or rather, that prompts me to ask you this: step aside connotes that he who steps aside is doing it is temporal. That's not the permanent situation of things. That if you step aside at some point, sooner or later, or sooner rather than later, you will also step back or step back in.
Yep.
So, when is Pat Attah going to step back in to Nollywood, especially since things are now way and radically different from they were when you left? So, are you looking at doing this anytime soon? Is that on the cards? A comeback?
To be honest with you, I do get offers. I do get offers, but I'm quite picky. If I'm coming back for any reason, it has to be. I'm not saying that the guys are not doing a good job, but it has to be. The story has to be good, and the production crew and everything. It has to be good. So yeah, I'm getting offers, but I haven't made up my mind yet which of them to pick or when I will pick one. But yeah, sometime soon I think I will just because a lot of people are asking me, when are you going to come shoot a movie? We want to see you again and all that. So yeah, I'll probably go give them one or two, and then step aside again. But I haven't decided that yet. But it's not ruled out. It's not ruled out, But my step aside will be like IBB, oh, child. This is Pat Attah stepping aside.
Strangely enough, as I was constructing that question in my head and forming the words, IBB kept popping into my mind. There was a voice in my head telling me that, but IBB stepped aside and the intention was not to ever step back in. So that was, he used that terminology completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And, history probably supports that to a large or to some extent. All right. Okay. So, bro.
Yeah.
You moved from Nigeria to Germany. What do you do now for a living? I mean, I do know what you do. I see that you do photography. I saw Chef Pat and all of that. Those seem to be passion projects. For example, if you had left Nigeria wanting to come and do that, and even if you were going to make money from doing those things, it must have taken a while to set up these structures.
Yes.
So I guess what I'm asking is, you landed Germany today. What did you start to do the day you landed for money? I mean, you landed today in 2005. What was the bread and butter that was putting the euros on the table at that time?
No, I didn't start doing my business right away as soon as I landed. I came out here. I had a lot of money on me to sustain me to a certain time before, I had enough time to lay the foundation I wanted to lay. And photography is actually just one of the things. Photography is more or less like something I'm passionate about. It started as a hobby that I'm passionate about, but now I earn a lot of money with it. But that's by the way. Like I said, I'm also behind the scene. I'm a cinematographer as well. And we do lots of productions out here, but I'm behind the scene. Apart from that, I'm also doing some other businesses. So I'm the Igbo person, you know what I'm saying? So things
as my brothers they will say, Igbo.
No, I'm Igbo man now. So I have some other businesses that I'm running. But the chef thing, I'm not even a chef. That is a misconception. It's people that just put it out there because there was a time I just felt like, okay, let me just show people. Like when I joined Instagram pretty late. Then I was thinking, what kind of content can I even put out here? And I felt, okay, I sabi cook now. Okay, let me just record myself preparing some things and then I upload it. So as after I uploaded, I think after I baked some meat pies and uploaded it on Facebook, it was first on Facebook, then on Instagram. Next thing I heard was, Pat Attah now chef, he's now a chef in Germany. No, that's not true. I'm not. Even though at some point, myself and my brother, oh man, I've had a lot of things. Some even say, oh, he's a taxi driver in Berlin. I'm like, I don't even live in Berlin. I live in Hamburg, you know? So they've said a lot of things. So the chef thing is just, no, I love to cook. I love to cook. So I just did a video, or I make multiple videos of me preparing different meals and posted it online. And then they just conclude like, this man today enter kitchen, they cook. Okay, so now cooking beef for Germany with that. But no, that's not true. It's just something I do for. It's just something I do for fun because I love to cook. I enjoy to cook, you know. So it's not true. And also decide to be a taxi driver. Ask them whether they don't enter my taxi before. But it is what it is. I mean, the taxi drivers, no disrespect to the taxi drivers, it's an honest way of earning a living too. You know?
True.
So,
True.
Yeah. But I'm not one.
Dignity in labor and all of that. Okay, two things. So two things at this point that dictate that this must be my last question, seeing as we're going up towards, we're approaching an hour now. First of all, you have to go to a game. That's what you said, you were going to a game.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So let me just throw a little question in there. Just, are you going to play the game or you're going to watch a football match?
No, I'm going to watch. I do play. I have a senior team that I do play with. You know, we play every week. We play every Thursday. So yeah, I do play. I still play. I love to play football or soccer, like the Americans would call it. But this time I'm just going to watch. But it's okay. I mean, you can, if you need extra 10 minutes, it's all good.
Oh, that's always good. You know, it's one of the things. It's why I know that I was called to do this with all humility. It's that usually when you get a guest coming, they tell you that, look, I have just 30 minutes. And I never argue with that. I say, okay. I say, it's just that I always am confident that when we get into the conversation, they will not know where the time goes or where the time has gone. The passage of time is barely noticeable. So thank you. That's a compliment that you've paid me. Thank you.
You're welcome, my brother, man.
Okay, so I watched an interview and you've been guarded about this, and I can understand why. There's a part of the Bible where it says that the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know, and then the African people, the Omoluabi people, the Yorubas, they have they have a plethora of sayings that qualifies that same concept about how people are just generally not happy and they are not invested towards or in your promotion. People are more likely to celebrate and rejoice in your downfall. I see all of this to preface my question that I have seen that when it comes to family, you've been guarded. You hardly give out those secrets. In fact, one interview I watched, you kept just saying, I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Well, be that as it may, I know you're blessed. Just looking at you, you're blessed. But I mean, what's the family situation? At least I must be able to say, look, Pat Attah is single, Pat Attah is married. You know, which is it. There are probably tons of people watching this who want to know this fine brother we're looking at. What is happening? Can we hope? Can we dream? Can we aspire? Can we put in our CV and our papers? Can I slide into his DM? So what's what, Pat?
Yeah, you know, the truth. Okay, first and foremost, I would say I'm extremely blessed. I know you saw it.
You don't start to,
but
you don't start.
I didn't put extremely blessed in the other one. So for you all now, I'm extremely blessed. Okay, and I will just let the people figure out what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an Igbo proverb that says, "Make you use your tongue, count your teeth." And another thing is, like, I just want to keep it, let it be a mystery, you know, let them keep trying to figure it out. But the truth of the matter is that I'm extremely, extremely blessed.
Good. So if it was a thing where we weren't recording and we're in the same location, and we're having this conversation, and you said that, I would have said, get out there, my friend. Tell me this thing. but, but okay, I get it. So look, anybody who feels like sliding into DMs, try your best. You come up with whatever you want to come up with. You do you. But Pat is blessed. That's all he's going to say about that.
I'm blessed. Oh, sorry about this misconception. Like when they talked about me being a chef or a cook in Germany, it's the same way they also said that I'm a pastor in Germany. I don't know if you ever came across that. The pastor. Pastor don't open church for Germany.
Well, no. The one I heard was that was why you stepped away from Nollywood, was that you became born again and you stepped away from Nollywood since most of your roles were lover boy roles. That one I heard.
Oh, they went as far as saying that I'm not now a pastor in Germany. Where did that come from? There was a time back in the day I was posting Bible verses on my Facebook. There was even no Instagram then. I was posting Bible verses, like quotations from the Bible on my Facebook. So they felt like, this one part is throwing out Bible verses. Okay, maybe the guy now is a pastor. From there, they just concluded, Pat Attah is a pastor. I know the pastor, I just say, I'm not a
pastor. And they even constructed a cathedral for you. They said you opened the church. Brother. They went one better.
I'm not a pastor. No.
So Pat, I must say that you're a rare person indeed. It's a rare thing to find. It's an uncommon thing to find anybody who gets to the top of any industry. Talk much more of it being the industry in front of the camera. The acting industry. You got to the top of that, and you willingly walked away from all the fame, and you're willing to live this life of personal fulfillment for yourself. And indeed, you're blessed. You're blessed. And I just like to say, long may your blessings continue, my brother. And thank you very much for doing this. And I hope to see you very soon in person.
I hope so too, my brother. And I really appreciate being on your show. Teju Babyface, the king of talk. My brother, you're doing a great job. I've been following you.
Yes, sir.
Watching your interviews, and it's been awesome. I think there was a time you took a break too, though. I don't know. You started this show in Nigeria, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so let's spend a few seconds. So Pat is asking me now. So I have rarely spoken about this, and so this is all I will say. I told somebody recently that people think life just goes on again seamlessly.
Yeah.
People fail to realize that the person you used to be as a child is different. They probably understand that. They understand that the person you used to be as a child is different from the person you used to be as an adult, but that's where they end. They forget that we change, we change over time. So the person whom I was as a single member or as a single practitioner in the entertainment industry is different from the person that I became the moment that I got married. And even I didn't fully understand that. The moment I got married, that was first of all a change. And then the moment that I had kids, that was another change.
Yeah.
That means that at that point, you start to make decisions not only for yourself, but for a unit for which you're completely and totally responsible.
Yeah.
And so at that point, there was a change. It necessitated that a break be hard. And so the break was hard so that we could do other things. And again, that's the topography of it. That's speaking of the surface. There are, of course, deeper levels to it, but you, more than any other person, understand what I'm saying. There are seasons to life. You grow and you must step into those seasons.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
I don't know. Your show, it's addictive. We could go on and on for hours, but So
let me tell you another secret. What I try to do again is I always try to leave something in the tank for all of my guests. I always want to interview them again. So when I write out, say, if I dream up 20 questions to ask you, I will, when we speak, ask you only 10. So that when we circle round back to doing it again, I still have enough in the tank, and also put other contemporaneous things as well. So we could keep talking, but I'll let you go now.
Okay. I'm ready for a part 2 anytime you're ready, my brother, man.
Will do. As your people say, to God be the glory. Watch out for part 2.
Yeah. Thanks for bro.
All right, bro.
I really appreciate it, man. All right, bro.
Yes, bro.
All right.
Blessings. Bye.
Bless you too. Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode thus far. This was a different one. Pat is in Germany. I'm in the United States. If he were in Lagos, I'd have sent a team to Lagos to record him as we usually do. Dr. Shola Animashan would have led our second unit photography team, but we don't have a team in Germany. So we had to leverage technology and AI, and I hope that it went as seamless. I mean, we're seeing it on the front end now. By the time we get into editing it, I hope it's as seamless as we hope it is. But it was an enjoyable interview with Pat Attah. Pat is one of the original strong men of the entire African movie industry. All right, so I was loath to do this because at the very end of that interview, I essentially said what would have been the wisdom roundup. But I'll put a shin on it right now. I'll just tie it all up. Life is in seasons, and who we used to be as children, all of us acknowledge is not exactly who we are as adults. I mean, think about it. The cells in your body right now, all the cells in your body right now are probably completely different from all the cells you had in your body, maybe even 20 years ago. We change, we grow and we change. But the thing is that people somehow fail to acknowledge or to realize the reality of this. So you find a guy who used to hang out with his friends every night after work and go to the clubs, still wanting to do the same thing the moment that he gets married. He forgets. He's trying to run parallel lifestyles or parallel realities. You find that people who have children all of a sudden fail to realize that your reality is now different. And that is why we find that people often will take selfish decisions. And my counsel right now, or my enjoyment, is just to open yourself up to the season that life brings to you at the moment. It is very ironic that we say that the only constant thing in life is change. I like it the way that I think about it. The only thing in life that is permanent is that life is impermanent. The only thing about life that doesn't change is the fact that life will change. All of us acknowledge this, but when it comes to applying those changes in our lives, then we resist it. We don't want to go, which is why you find African political leaders wanting to die in office, which is why you find people in positions stealing and embezzling money so that they realize that even if they cannot perpetuate themselves in that position, they want to steal so much so that they can use the money to buy influence when they leave. In the words of the great philosopher, vanity upon vanity, everything is vanity. In fact, I like the way it is said in the Yoruba Bible. Ọ̀rọ̀ oníwàásù ọmọ Dáfídì tó jọba ní Jerusalem. Asán nínú asán, asán lórí asán, gbogbo rẹ̀. Asán ni, òfò nínú òfò. The point being that life will change. When the seasons change, embrace the seasons, make the sacrifices that you need to make, and move on. If you insist on remaining in the position that you are and you don't follow the changes of life, life will eventually force you out of the position. And the thing about life is that if you give it up by yourself, you will most likely get it back again. If life forces you out of it, life will often not give it back to you again. Sometimes, depending on your age and your maturity and what life has given to you before, life might give you a second chance, maybe a third chance. But keep wasting your chances, they're going to go. Not because life is wicked, but because we have a finite amount of time to spend on earth. If we lived to be 200 years old, then you can waste as many chances as you want. If you waste it at 30, you get it back maybe at 45. Wasted at 45, you get it back maybe at 65. Wasted at 65, you might get it back at 90. Wasted at 90, you get it back at 120 because we have time. But this one that we're not sure we're even going to make 70, nobody forget 70. We're not even sure we're going to see tomorrow. You know, in the words of K1 the Ultimate, Emiti oni dola koimo, tondo shumejila koimo, Emiti oni dola koimo, tondo shumeta lao koimo. It's also in the Bible. You who are saying to yourself, we'll go to so and so city. You don't even know what tomorrow will bring. Well, maybe not in so many words, I forget that scripture, but that's the point that the writer was making. We must always treat life as if we have a finite amount of time, which in reality we do. So move with the change. I must confess that I wasn't always very good with this, but we live to learn and we learn to live. So, in conclusion, embrace life, make the sacrifices that are demanded of you in the season, and I promise you that eventually you will reap the harvest of the seeds and the sacrifices that you're making and that you're sowing in the season. Again, if you didn't see my interview with Shola Shobowale, go see that thing. That has inspired thousands of people. A woman who walked away again from the acting industry to take care of her children for 12 years. 12 years, let's underscore that. Shola Shobowale walked away for 12 years because she understood, she identified, she realized that she needed to invest that time to raise the children, to see them through school in the United Kingdom. She realized that the seasons of life had changed and life was demanding that sacrifice of her and from her, and she gave that up for 12 years. And after 12 years, she returned bigger, stronger, and to the top of the industry. Go figure. Pat Attah has told you that he knew inside himself that it was time to step away, and he stepped away for himself, and because his inner man was speaking to him, he did all those things for himself. He's going through that period and is enjoying life. He's even reaping the fruits and the harvest right now. We must always move with the season, pay the price, pay the sacrifice, invest in the season, and then we will reap the fruits. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and do remember to subscribe and to join the channel. Bless you.